watch during a night shift, probably from like 7 to midnight. I'm like, okay, fuck it, I'll do it. So I got my uniforms on, and they didn't really tell me where, so I kind of just fucked off and started walking on these paths just to pretend I was busy. So it was in Pensacola, Florida, and at night I think it was like late summer, so it wasn't too hot, it wasn't too muggy. It was just kind of cooling off and just kind of nice breeze to it.
Oh,
And
nice.
on most bases they have like a few woods out there, little packs of woods, just some kind of like scenery.
Oh, yeah?
And I was kind of like going off the side. So if you're looking at the main gate, you're gonna go to the main gate. Then there's a barracks. Then there's the woods, and then there's a path that I'm on. There's like a little creek thing, right? So I was on this little path, just like between the woods and the barracks, and I happened to see these objects, and I have no context to what I saw. I just see a very orange color and a very blue color, and I'm thinking, that's a weird thing out there in the woods. And I'm just kind of looking at it. It looks like it's kind of like, it has like a breeze to it, like they're flapping around or something. I'm like, what the hell is that thing?
That doesn't happen in nature.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a really fruity color of nature. So I'm like, I guess, like, maybe some like.
Let the man tell a
guys probably
story.
had some trash and just like threw it out there. So I figured
Let him
I'd
tell
be
a
good
story.
Samaritan and go pick up the trash. So I figure, I'd go out there and pick up the trash, right? So I start walking out in the woods, kind of just meandering my own. But I notice that, like, the objects are really big. Like, they look like they're the size of, like, it's hard to give a good estimate. It looks like they're, like, the size of, like, half a car. Like, they're, like, these fucking massive objects. And I'm like, this is, like, a really big pile of trash that I'm looking at. And I kind of realize I'm getting closer. One piece of the trash is flat, and the other piece is just on it, kind of bouncing up and down. And I'm like, maybe it's the wind, but there wasn't any wind. And then I shit you not, I took like a next step, and like the trees parted just the right way, and I saw perfectly. It was like, I can't really describe like what like they were, but I could describe the suits as basically Tony the Tiger getting fucked in the ass by Toucan Sam, and Tony the Tiger riding Toucan Sam to high fucking Unitech, right? So I had
That's great!
fucking, like, image burned into my skull for the rest of my life, and I didn't know what to do immediately. But then I'm like, you know what, dude? I have to fuck with these guys. Like, these are like Navy IT, so they're gonna be fucking weird. But I'm gonna really fuck with these guys somehow. So I said, what if I like pretended I was like some like officer, and I just fucking sprint at him, yelling him like I just wanted to see what I could do, like how I could fucking manhandle the situation. So
There is no viable way to
I started,
manhandle
like,
that
I had,
situation.
like, my little, yeah, like how do you manhandle? Like how do you like make the situation go from like okay to fucking awful for them?
How do
So I'm
how
like,
do you
okay,
take
I'm
a
gonna pretend
situation
I'm,
like these two furries are having sex in the middle of the woods within fucking walking distance of a military base? How can you handle that and take it seriously?
Yes, but I wanted to I had to like make something out of this, right? Like I had to make this a good situation. So I thought to myself, what if I just like try to like arrest them, but like I can't actually arrest them because like I'm just a fucking student. But what if I just like kind of like abuse my power? Because I'm in full military gear, so they don't know who the fuck I am. And I'm like, dude, like I fucking like hid my name tag. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna walk in and think of something on the way there. So I start sneaking up. And I just figured, like, you know what? I'm just gonna scare him. I'll just get away with scaring him. That's all.
Just make it up as you go along.
So like I had my flashlight, I had it off, but I had my finger on that little like how like when you press it down, you let go, it turns on. I had my finger jammed in there, so the second I let go, that light's gonna blast him in the eyes. I'm like, oh boy, here it comes. And I'm
my
within, like,
furry
10 feet
eyes.
of these guys. I'm like
10
within
feet.
10 feet of the eyes. Yeah, and this fucking Toucan Sam, the one on bottom, so he turns his head towards me. And I hear him just like I can see his entire body just go stiff. And then I just fucking let the light shine. And the fucking guy riding him was completely oblivious. So I just fucking ripped that light on. I was like, put your fucking hands up right now, you piece of shit! And I just start fucking screaming random incoherent words as loud as I can. And, Toucan's just screaming. The fucking bottom guy is absolutely fucking just shivering in fear. The fucking Tony the Tiger who's just taking it up the ass, who, by the way, I didn't know what this was. I thought they were just, like, role-playing or, like, just doing something. I didn't realize they were fucking. I was just like, Tony the Tiger jumps up, and I just see this dark liquid go all fucking over on the blue guy. And I didn't know what it was, dude, because obviously I'm not familiar with what I just saw. So, but Tony Tiger didn't just stop there. He fucking bolts. He runs, but he didn't run anywhere else except towards the barracks. And this is a Friday night, so people are outside in the barracks cooking hot dogs, drinking beer, all this shit. And here comes half-naked Tony Tiger sprinting out of the woods towards him, right? So I'm like, no fucking way, I have to do this. So I fucking sprint. I follow Tony Tiger half-naked all the way to the fucking barracks, and he just fucking bolts. He is fearless. He fucking goes straight into the crowd, and you get to see his fucking dick going back and forth. You can see, like, everything. And
like every step he takes, it's just
like cheering him on, like telling him to run faster, and like just fucking hooting and hollering. And then I come sprinting out of the woods, breakneck speed, like fucking flashlight, just grinning from ear to ear. But he's tired, dude. Like he is so fucking like exhausted from getting fucked. And on top of that, now he's sprinting. He starts going like. And it starts like slowing down and shit, but me, I'm full of stamina. I'm ready to run, but I start slowing down too to like get him all scared. Like, I'm gonna catch you, motherfucker! And he's like going like, and like he's like just fucking hyperventilating, having a fucking panic attack. He doesn't know where he is. He just knows he's gotta run. So I am absolutely fucking livid. I'm like, no. I know it's after the barracks. The next thing after the barracks is the front gate, and that's where the military police are, and they're gonna see his ass. Oh, I'm gonna fucking haul ass. So I immediately fucking get around him, and he starts running towards the gate. And he starts fucking getting on this road, and the second he gets on this road, I just yell, "Get back here, you bastard!" as loud as I can, and both the fucking guards on the base look to him, see this fucking naked, like half-naked Tony Tiger. I've never seen two guards so fucking terrified of what they just saw. They didn't know what to fucking do. They did not expect this. They're not paid enough for this shit. So they're just fucking standing there, absolutely fucking mind-boggled by what they see. And finally, the third guy that's in the fucking building fucking actually gets out his radio and fucking tells the other two to fucking chase his ass down. So this is the best part. This is like my favorite part. They both fucking just rush after this guy. Didn't even pull their guns out. They just fucking decide to tackle this guy down. But the problem was, I realize now that dark liquid it basically shot out was shit, and it was going all down his body, like everywhere. It was plastered in this.
They had to put a tarp in the fucking back to the holler.
The first MA. Yeah, the guy, whenever he jumped off Toucan, he fucking shat all over him and on his own legs. So he fucking
Wait, were they both male?
Everywhere. What the fuck? Yeah, they're both male.
Oh, of course.
So the guy was being tackled by the military police, and the fucking first guy that tackled him fucking just got his face directly smushed into that shit without realizing it. And I've never seen a man recoil so hard. He fucking like let the guy go, kicked him, rolled over and started puking. The second guy saw what happened, didn't know what to do, just started fucking kicking the dude, just started kicking Tony. The third military police officer saw what's happening, told what was going on the radio while kicking him too. So like, I'm just watching this whole fucking like Looney Tunes show. This absolutely fucking screaming Tony the Tiger getting his shit rocked in by a fucking military police. One guy vomiting and the other two people just kicking him down. Didn't know what else to do with him. And I am fucking losing it. I could not fucking hold it. I just fucking fell to the ground laughing. Could not fucking do anything else about it. And I'm like, okay, look, if I have to stay here, I have to explain what I did, and I don't want to be that guy who has to explain. I fucking chased down Tony the Tiger, shat on his legs, got police on this guy, and got shit in this guy's face. I'm not gonna be that guy. So I just fucking run away, and they don't even chase me. They're just kicking this guy's teeth in, and he's just
gold fucking star, homeboy.
Bro, I don't even know what happened to Toucan Sam, but all I know is he got shot on and he disappeared. I never went back for him. I just left him there. he had a rough night. Oh god, dude.
Oh my god, I love it.
That was my favorite fucking. That was
dude,
like my favorite. That was like, oh goddamn.
Gold fucking star, bro. All right. Fucking please, I gotta hear, I gotta hear more. See you, bro.
More stories? Okay. Alright, have a good one, buddy. Have a good one,
Uh,
Jake.
I sent you a
Alright, so the
request.
other
Fucking
story
please.
was actually in Pensacola as well, but it wasn't as crazy.
What the freak, bro?
When I got there, I was on like my last month in before I went to another A school, and there was this girl named Margaret there. She was really like, I have a thing for redheads. I admit, like, red hair and bitchy attitudes, I guess, is my weakness. So she hit both of those.
Oh, then you'd really like my neighbor.
I'm
He's
like
an asshole.
6'10". She's like, I'm like 6'10", and she's like 5 foot even. So she's like a midget to me. It's like basically Gandalf.
Everyone's
and Frodo.
short
Like,
to
you're
you.
Fucking polar opposites, bro. Yeah, dude. Like, I remember like the shortest girl I dated was like 4 foot, and she barely cleared my waistline. It was horrible. Like,
She could
I don't
give
know
you a
how we- I don't know
blowjob while
how
she
we
was
managed.
standing up straight. Like,
no, like if I fucking pulled out from a blowjob, it'd be in her hair. It was that bad. But so this girl
she'd
I
have
was
to be there.
talking
Oh
to-
my god.
Yeah, like, so this girl I was talking to on the base, though, like, me and her weren't fucking at all. We were just talking, having a good time, and I think her, like, grandpa was a Air Force chief, which is, like, a really high rank in the Air Force. I don't know jack shit about Air Force. I just know it's some higher enlisted who's basically an asshole. That's all I know about him. So I leave him alone, right? So she gets on base with us, and we were talking, and like she tells everyone there that, you know, I'm dating like I'm dating a Navy SEAL, so, you know, I'm off limits, but I'm cool to hang out, right? So okay, cool, you know, whatever. So we talk, and I'm completely oblivious, right? I don't really think anything about it. I just figure, you know, she's dating, she wants friends, no problem, right? So she kind of like scares everyone else off, and eventually I'm the last one left, and like she brought me to her house with her sister there. And her sister was breastfeeding her baby, right? You know, I didn't really know. I didn't realize, you know, she had a sister. I didn't realize they're breastfeeding. I just look over and there's like a breast open, and all of a sudden the baby just straight into the tit. That's all I saw. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. So, you know, me, unlike back then, I was pure innocent. Like, I hadn't barely done anything sexual, so I didn't really, you know, me and kids, me and sex, just kind of like with polar opposites. I thought nothing about it because, you know, I was just there to get my career shit out, you know, fixed out, avoid
Yeah.
women and women's problems altogether as a male, because that's the last thing I need in the Navy. But
yeah, you don't want to
So,
get your white suit all
you know,
wet.
me and her were hanging out. You know, I didn't think anything about her romantically, anything, you know, because she told me she was taken, didn't think about it. So I'm
But
sitting
you're
on her couch
hanging
with her
out with
sister.
her? But
Yeah,
you're
so I'm
hanging
hanging out with her sister on the couch, and I see her breastfeeding her baby, and I'm just watching television, and then all of a sudden, I just feel this fucking cold spray go down my face and shoulder. And I look over, and I see her squeezing her tit at my face, and just fucking milk
What
evaporating
the
onto me.
fuck?
And I am fucking like, I just fucking jump. Like, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And she laughs, slaps her knee like a fucking SpongeBob character, and just goes, "Got milk?" And just laughs. Her sister is laughing. Everyone's laughing, and I'm fucking
What
horrified in the
the
corner because I'm covered in
fuck?
bodily fluids. I never fucking had, Bro, I joined the Navy, didn't realize I joined that part of the Navy. I don't know what the fuck got me in that situation. But that had me rethink a lot of questions in life that I wasn't ready for.
It made you question your
Fucking gross.
sexuality.
I didn't even know anything about breastfeeding. I didn't know it's fucking projectiled. I didn't know anything. I was not prepared. I felt like I just got like, I got blindsided by breast milk, and
It's just
that was,
man the cannons.
that was, bro, that was like my first fucking year in the military was me being sprayed in the face by breast milk. I will never tell my kids that. I will never fucking tell my kids that story.
Just cry. Just cry.
Especially not my wife. I'll never tell her.
Dad, what's breastfeeding?
She's not gonna hear about that. God damn.
If you ever
Oh,
have
my-
kids, don't let your wife breastfeed. And if she
Oh.
tries to get
That must be my oh my god, my neighbor. He's also my boss at my job, but that's not important. He told me that when she was pregnant with his daughter and like her breast milk didn't really taste that good according to him. But when after she was born and she was pregnant with their son, the breast milk tasted really good and the kid was plump. Like fucking he's like, "Ooh, more." I was like, you know, I was like, what the? I think it's
like,
fucking hilarious that
like,
you're telling me this, but like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah. there was also this really weird, like this really fucking stupid guy. I had
There's a lot
Pensacola,
of those.
course. I have 3 stories of Pensacola, Florida. This is the 3rd fucking guy. And this guy was like the shittiest person you could have as a roommate, and I got stuck with this guy. This
He wasn't
guy was like,
was he Baloney Bob?
Nah, he was like, he was someone who just could get on everyone's good side on the in power, and then fuck everyone else who wasn't in power. Like he was the complete shitbag to anyone else in his own rank, right? And I had to be a roommate with this guy. He did not fucking wash his clothes. What he did was, in the cots, like the beddings we have there, you can lift the bed up, and there's like a dresser underneath your bed when you lift the bed up. I forget what it's called, but it's pretty cool. Like you lift the whole bed up, underneath the mattress is a giant, it's like a giant
a chest
mattress. Yeah, like a giant mattress chest thing. So, what he does instead of washing his clothes is he piles it into his fucking mattress chest thing and then just fucking locks it shut. And every fucking morning I get the smell of him opening it. And it is so fucking rancid because he doesn't. I feel like when he farts, he just fucking shits in his underwear and he just leaves it in his in his fucking dirty clothes in his bedroom, in his bed. And it fucking reeks from the other side of the room. And this fucking guy would use my computer while I'm gone to watch porn. And I can see every fucking video he watched in my history, and it's always this fucking Asian anal bullshit. And I'm like, dude, use your own fucking shit or learn incognito mode. Like you're a fucking IT, get used to it. But he refused. Like he fucking kept looking up this this horrible shit I wouldn't know about. And then on top of this fucking asshole doing that, he wouldn't iron his clothes. Instead, he paid me to do it because he's a lazy sack of shit. But then
you get money.
Kind of lowball me in some ways. So he'd lowball me, so I'd iron his military clothes so he would pass inspections, right? So one day, he said, "Oh fuck, I gotta get my clothes ironed now. I'll pay you $800 to iron my clothes, right fucking now." He paid me the money. I'll give him props.
Holy
the thing
fuck!
It was 10 minutes before inspection.
How much clothes?
It's one set, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of clothes. So I'm ironing 4 pieces of clothes for $800. I'm like, okay, fuck it, it's a good deal. But the part that pissed me off was that after I got done ironing his clothes for him, I give him his shit. I go to iron my clothes. We run out of time, so my clothes aren't fully ironed. And we get to our inspection. He gets fucking complimented on his clothes. He's like, the chief's like, "You're such a stellar guy. You iron your clothes so well." Blah blah blah. He's fucking bragging about this guy right next to me. Gets to me and then says, "Why does your clothes look like shit?" And I swear I wanted to fucking punch the guy next to me so hard. I wanted to fucking just hay bale him right then and there.
I mean, it was worth the $800, wasn't it?
Huh?
Was it worth the $800?
Not getting fucked over by Chief. No, that was not worth $800. Whenever you have an entire fucking 800 people all lined up and they all hear some Chief ripping your ass out, everyone there knows that if they get punished, it's your fault, and you don't want to be that guy. And I was that fucking guy for this asshole. I'm like, okay, fuck this dude. So one day, this is where it all gets worse. One day, he got really fucked up drunk on base, and then he went to use the restroom in our room, and our bath towels are both white. All our bath towels are white when you're on A school. So he realized that we're out of toilet paper because he forgot to buy them like he's supposed to.
Oh my god!
He didn't buy toilet paper, but he sees the towels and he thinks, "Oh, I'm gonna wipe my ass with my towel." So he wipes his fucking crusty asshole with a towel that he presumes is his. And after he fucking coats this thing in his shit, he looks at it and says, "Wait a minute, this isn't my towel. This is his towel." So in order to let me know, he throws it onto my bed and then passes out in his. So he just fucking knocks out cold. So I get off watch, and it's nighttime. I just want to get in the fucking bed. I just fucking strip gear, and I fucking dolphin dive into my bed.
Oh
fucking
no!
Black, I just fucking dolphin dive.
Oh no!
And I just fucking... And I just feel this fucking cold, wet, fucking just nasty feeling on me. And I can't quite how it smelled or tasted, but you can imagine. So I didn't say anything. I got my fucking boot and I got a bag. and I put the pillow over his head. I just fucking swung the boot at him inside the bag, and I felt something. I felt him take a few hits, and he's trying to swing back, and I didn't give a fuck. I kept beating him up. And when he woke up the next morning, he had no recollection of me, like, pretty much beating him up in his sleep. And he wakes up, and this fucking dude I had fucked his face up so bad, like, his eyelids were, like, swollen like fucking peaches, and you couldn't see his eyeballs at all. Like, he could barely see at all. And like, dude, what happened to me last night? I'm like, I don't fucking know, dude. You came in looking like that. I never saw what happened to you, man. I don't know. Are you okay? He's like, oh no, dude, I need to go to medical. So he goes to medical, and then I decided that wasn't enough. Like, I didn't really think that was enough for me. So I bought
Did
some
you put the
laxatives.
towel under
I
his
put in
bed?
No, I bought some laxatives, and then I put the whole bottle inside of his milk. So he shat pure fucking bricks for about a week. So that was
And
great.
then he used all the towels.
Yeah, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I bought the toilet paper for him that time because I realized what was gonna happen if I didn't. So I bought him the toilet papers, and then I just let him be in the toilet for the next 2 weeks. So
Shock and
that
awe.
was God. He also, like, I bought like I think a $1,500 synthesizer for my desktops because I like to write music for fun, and he stole that
yeah.
shit when I left base. So he stole $1,500 from me, but I made him pay for it. I fucked his life over.
Oh.
Fucking hated that guy.
Yeah.
I also one time he got really drunk and ordered pizza. And he told me to leave a tip, but he was really fucking drunk. So I put a $100 tip on the pizza, and then the next day he asked me where all the money went, and I said, "You tipped him $100." He's like, "Oh, right, I did tip him $100." Yeah, I fucked with that guy. I did not let him have an easy life.
Yeah.
I made his life hell.
Fuck yeah. Fuck
Fucking
that
hated
guy. Not without reason.
yeah. Yeah, like also from what I heard, he finally got caught, and now he got sent to the Navy undesignated. And for those who don't know what undesignated seaman is, it basically means that you are like the can't bitch of the Navy. Like you will do the shittiest jobs and will get paid the least amount of money for what you
Grunt
do.
work.
And he has to do that for the next 6 years, so I was happy. I watched that man break, and yeah, knowing that I was the reason partly why he broke was kind of a nice thing. I'm like, yeah, you kind of deserve a jackass.
Yeah.
Goddamn. Then I went to Virginia Beach. That was fun. I picked up. There's like a bunch of volunteer stuff you can do while in A school, and one of the volunteer options we did was we had to like help clean up a plane crash happened in Virginia Beach. What's up?
Quick question. What is A school?
A school is like whenever you graduate.
I love how you
whenever
raised your
graduate
hand.
boot camp, in the Navy, you go to like this kind of like class, class thing, and it's basically whenever you graduate the boot camp, you go to like this class that teaches you how to do your job in the Navy. So like if you like work on computers, you'll go to a school that helps you figure out how to work on computers, or if you work on guns, you'll go to a school about guns. It's like a college for the Navy kind of thing. And depending on what your A school is, sometimes it can actually transfer to civilian side. So, are you guys like ITs? Any of you guys ITs? Like
not necessarily.
Basically, in the Navy, you can actually get certificates that help you get in the civilian world to get a job in the civilian side. And especially back in the IT business, you could actually get IT certifications that you use in real like in civilian side, and they're worth like thousands of dollars. So A school is like free college pretty much. It's amazing. But I was going through a shitty relationship with my ex. Long story short, she was a complete pile of shit and really abusive, really manipulative. She basically faked that the reason why she went to a hospital while I was working out of state for us was because she had a miscarriage of my child, just to see what her boyfriend at that time would see how my reaction was. Because she was cheating on me and having a relationship while I was working out of state trying to get us a place to stay. Like, she was a really fucking big scumbag. So.
Fuck. What a fucking jackass.
So I was withdrawing from all that while in the military, so I couldn't focus in school that well, so I failed a lot of classes, and I got sent everywhere trying to find a school I could pass, and I did eventually pass one. But the second one I went to was in Virginia, which was basically it's like a really top secret cool job. I can't go into too much detail on that, but it's a really cool top secret shit. And I was there for about 6 months, no, about 4 months. I didn't make it, and for some reason my paperwork never got filed through to where the Navy realized I failed. So basically, according to the Navy, they're like, "Oh, hey, you're still in class, so we're gonna keep you there until you're done with class." But I kind of got kicked out of class, so now I'm just like there forever, I guess. So I didn't, the Navy had no idea, and I thought they knew. So I was stuck on hold. What was supposed to be for 2 weeks lasted 8 months. So I'm in this nice hotel and on base, like just having a grand time, and I'm getting paid for it. I'm like, "Fuck yeah, dude, let's go!" So.
Nice.
One of the cool jobs that I got offered to get paid extra for was I got offered to help clean up this plane crash on it was like the Virginia Beach Botanical Gardens was where I was at, and apparently some some millionaire guy had a plane crash with their private jet. And I don't think anyone survived, but they wanted us to go to the botanical gardens to see if any pieces went into there. And like me and the buddies, when we were like going to this place, like, bro, like, what if you find like body parts and cool shit like that, bro? Like, it's gonna be so cool. And like we were like just like imagining the most like bizarre shit. But instead, we like basically got like a free trip to like some cool garden thing. And I met some like I know he was like with the Patriots or something, or not. I think it was the Patriots. I met some like NFL player who just happened to be there, and like I didn't know who he was, and none of us knew because none of us fucking know the Patriots. And this guy was like fucking flaunting the fact he was an NFL. I was like, "Oh yeah, I could do a push up with all of my back." So like I'm like 6'10". I'm like, "All right, fuck it, I'll stand on your back." So I fucking like stand on this NFL player's back, and he does like a push up with me on. I'm like, "Holy fucking shit, you're strong." That's cool. But so instead of like cleaning up body parts, I got to meet an NFL player, and he fucking like just did a push-up while I was sitting on him. That was kind of fun.
Nice.
And then also the last story I remember, the last crazy one was some guy got drunk on base while I was on Virginia Beach, and we actually trained near a SEAL training area. Like we were like less than a mile down the beach from them, and it's like about as much as I could tell about that. But basically, this guy got drunk one night and decided to jog up the beach a direction he shouldn't have jogged, and then suddenly he goes missing for a day and a half, and no one knows where he is, right? And since everything's like, all hush and lip, you can't talk about anything, like no one knows what the fuck's going on. Until the third day comes in, and someone just happened to be walking along the beach, and they see this object, and so it looks like, how like when you cook meat, there's like the two steaks, and there's like the thing in the middle, and that's where the meat's hanging, right? But
Yeah.
where there's supposed to be like the meat, there was like this strange big object, and so someone happened to walk forward, and there's this fucking guy who was jogging the night, like 3 days prior, stripped down to nothing but his underwear, hog-tied with a fucking ball gag in his mouth, hanging on this fucking like this steak thing, and then like
What
around
the
his neck, the fucking
fuck?
SEALs wrote, "Don't fuck with us again." So like, they had to like cut him down, and like the dude was like sobbing and crying, and he didn't remember what happened at all. Like the SEALs fucked with him so bad that he didn't remember what they did
Jesus.
to him. So
Never go down that
someone
path.
actually got the sign. Someone like got the sign, like put it on like one of our dorm rooms. So basically, whenever you walk into our area, you have the fucking sign hanging on the wall. And
That's
it was the same
awesome.
it's the same barracks he's inside of too. So every fucking day he gets reminded everyone saw him pretty much naked on the beach. It's fucking hot.
That's fucking awesome.
God.
Insult to injury.
Yeah. God damn, that was fun.
Oh, really?
I don't
God,
know
I
how
wish I-
walked into this conversation.
Yeah, I wish I had some fucking cool stories. The only stories I got is like fucking stories about my dad when he's fucking working that he fucking told me.
Oh, nice. I have like a lot of stories from my end because for some reason I feel like I'm just like drawn to random events. I have like every time I seem to go to somewhere far, like foreign or somewhere where like I thought would be safe, something fucking batshit crazy happens. I fucking picked up one of the top 10 fucking most venomous snakes on planet Earth without realizing it because I thought it was a garden snake. Like that's the
Oh.
fucking bullshit I get handed in life.
Hey.
So like, what happened was I was in I lived in Texas, near a place called Alvarado. And near that, there's a place called Mansfield. And Mansfield is this like really big city, and they have this really pretty state park. And as a kid, I swear I'm fucking retarded. I will, public disclaimer: I'm a fucking mental inbred. I have like the worst luck due to me just kind of sticking my dick where it doesn't belong. And there was this. I just so happened that day that I saw this big green snake, and my dad always told me, "Oh yeah, it's Texas. The only green snakes you find here are garden snakes. These little harmless little green snakes. Not, they're not gonna hurt you, right?" So, but this snake, right? It was weird. It was like really bright green, and it had these fucking it looked like these really thick scales. Like they were pointy and they were spiky and they looked badass. They looked like a fucking dragon, right? I'm like, dude, that is the coolest goddamn garden snake I've ever seen. I'm gonna catch that shit. So like, I saw like a lot of like Steve Irwin shit when I was a kid. So I'm like, bro, I'm gonna like Steve Irwin the snake. Like I'm gonna pick up the snake. I'm gonna like hold it around. I'm like, Crockett, yeah, I'm gonna kick the snake. I'm gonna kill the snake. Like I'm all excited, dude. Like I'm already like fantasizing having the snake like wrapped around my neck like a fucking like cool ass pet. I'm like, dude, I want that fucking snake.
Yeah, that'd be fucking
I like
badass.
fucking like I start scurrying around it. And like it's like he fucking like he curls up, like he's really fucking fast. He curls up, he leans up, and his like head opens, like his mouth opens up, and I can see the fangs. And like whenever you hear snakes and you hear fangs, like okay, that shit's venomous. My
Yeah, don't
brain
touch
is
it.
like, bro, that is the coolest fucking jaw I've ever seen in my life. Now I want you even more. So I'm like, bro, I want this fucking snake. So I saw this branch and it had like these like little, a bunch of these like little like endings on it, like it fans out, and I fucking like scooped him up with the branch and just fucking held him, and this fucking snake just looked me dead in the eyes, like it couldn't process the fact that something was willing to touch it. It was so fucking confused by the fucking balls I had.
Like,
And
why
I
are
didn't
you
realize
holding
I
me?
was in my situation. So I'm like walking around the park with this fucking stick and like held above my head, and like it's like I'm like just absolutely fucking admiring the snake like it's a fucking beautiful thing. And I had this big smile on my face, right? And this park ranger just happened to be there, and she has like these like really like short khakis, and she has like this like fucking brown like thick leather jacket, and she just happened to see this fucking kid holding up this snake, and she knew instantly what it was, and she just fucking bolts at me, snatches the stick from my hand, and just full on Tarzan throws this thing like a tomahawk into the woods, and the snake gets caught up off the branch and just flies even further. So it's like team rocketing away into the woods, and I'm so confused and hurt. I'm like, lady, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're a bitch. And like, I'm like a third grader calling a bitch. And she's like, she looks at me like she's like fucking just stone pissed off. Like she is so fucking pissed at me. And I'm confused and I'm pissed too. And she's like, you fucking stupid kid. You not realize that's a venomous snake and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, all venomous snakes, they're not green. They're brown and black and all that other shit. Green snakes are cool. And she looked at me like I was like born on like fucking Jupiter or some shit. Like I was like the most fucking retarded kid on planet Earth. And she says, honey, that isn't what we call a pit viper. Those are one of the most top 10 dangerous animals out there you get bit by. And like, I'm in complete denial. I'm like, nuh-uh, it's a garden snake, you fat bitch. And she's like, honey, listen to me. And I'm like, I didn't know she was a park ranger. I didn't know anything. I thought she was just some Karen being a bitch. And when you're a kid, you're a fucking sociopath. So you're gonna rip a new one. So she pulled out her fucking phone and showed me a photo of it, and I'm like, oh, that's the thing I had. That's the fucking cool thing. That's the thing I had. And right below it, I shit you not, she like scrolled down her phone. The next fucking thing you see is like the skull, like the cross skull thing, where it's like venom
Skull and crossbones.
skull bones and like that thing. Yeah, the crossbones. It has that, and it says extremely venomous. Do not handle. And I'm like, what? Wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute, lady, wait a minute. That's a garden snake. And then, like, I found out it was, what happened is someone had bought this snake online, and then I guess didn't want it anymore, so instead of, like, donating it back to somewhere that could be rescued, he just fucking dumped it in the park, and then
What a
me
fucking
just
idiot.
happened to be there at the wrong place at the wrong time, thought I just found, like, the coolest pet ever. So, like, my dad didn't really get onto me, but like he kind of realized he told me that it's kind of his fault that I did this. So like, he couldn't get onto me or get me in trouble. So whenever like the lady was like yelling at me, he kind of looked at me like he was disappointed. And then when he got in the car, he kind of like rolled the windows up. He's like, "All right, son, I'm sorry, I was wrong." I was like, "God damn it, fuck."
At least he was willing to admit it.
Yeah, like my dad has like only said like sorry to me twice his entire life, and like that was like he's only said it twice, and that was one of them.
Yeah, that was your
Oh,
fucking
man.
entire life at stake there.
Yeah, and that wasn't the only time I did something like that too. When I went to Belize, my aunts are really like rich. They don't have any kids, and they don't have anywhere to put their money into, right? So they always wanted to like dump it into me. So I was just like, I loved them, but like I always kind of distant from them. Like I didn't know how to handle them. They're very eccentric, I guess is the best way to put it. They're very different from like the world I'm used to. And they took me to Belize, and you know, me, like, I originally grew up in Alaska. That was, like, my first home state. And now I'm going to, like, the hottest fucking area on planet Earth. And it's all muggy and hot and shit, but it's really pretty. And I'm like, okay, you know, cool. Like, I'll be cool here. Like, I'm fine with this. You know, they're being very nice to me. I should be very nice to, you know, what they've done for me. And they say, okay, well, we're going to go snorkeling. We want you to come with us. So, like, okay, cool, we'll go snorkeling. So we go snorkeling, and our guide kind of takes us to this island, right? And we're supposed to have like a little barbecue thing there, like a little bit of food there to kind of, you know, chow down on. And I ate mine pretty quickly. It was like some watermelon and some other shit. And I'm like on the beach, and on the beach, I look into this water. And if you guys ever seen like Pirates of the Caribbean, you guys remember like the first movie where they have like that gold coin, and it's like really fucking shiny. And it's like really bright and like really cool looking, right? So I'm on the beach, and in the water, I see this creature who's like the size of a donut. And it has like these little tendrils, but he's really fucking gold and really fucking pretty. And I see these like little cool blue rings on him. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? That's amazing! And like, I am so fucking captivated by this thing. It's like the prettiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's like me, like Smeagol, like having like a precious moment with this fucking ring. That's like me with this object. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is that? So like, I'm like in the water, like just kind of like tracing it around, watching it move, and like so I'm like in the water watching this thing, and
shut up.
So and I'm like, I'm reaching down for it, and the tour guide happened to like see me kind of like pick something up, and like I just pick it up, and it's this octopus, and it's really gold, and it had blue rings on it. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is a cool ass octopus. And I'm like admiring it, like inspecting it, like I'm just like looking at like a fucking piece of jewelry, and I'm like, bro, this is the fucking coolest octopus I've ever seen. And,
we're listening to a story.
The tour guide fucking screams. He's like, what the fuck are you doing, you stupid American, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what the fuck's your problem? Like, this is the coolest shit on earth. Like, what the hell? And he's like, no, you put that down. And like, he fucking like smacks out of my hand. And he's like freaking out about it. And like, he told me that apparently there's like a type of octopus called the blue ring octopus, and it's like the most like one of like the most venomous shit you can get bit by. Like,
what's up with you and venomous shit?
I was like holding this shit like, bro, this like I was like admiring the fucking beauty on this thing. Oh my god, dude. I almost got fucking killed by that thing. One bite and I would have been fucking dead.
Yeah. One bite, I'm dead. I'm gonna pick it up.
Yeah, dude, it was fucking pretty, man. I'm a fucking sucker for pretty animals. I'm horrible about that.
Right, next time, just take a picture.
Yeah, dude. I got a picture of it's called a eagle ray, I think. They're like a really big man. They're like one of the largest manta rays you can find. It's like 30 feet long. I got a picture of that. I got a picture of like this fucking crab that bit my toe, and then I killed it. I didn't kill it. I kicked it, and then it kind of like got like dazed by that. I just snatched it up and like threw it in a cup, and I kept it as a pet for like a week. It's more like a hostage because he couldn't really escape, but I still wanted to keep it for a week.
It wasn't a pet. It was a hostage.
Yeah, it's like a hostage. Like some of the other crabs like wouldn't fuck with me. I was like, all right, you're gonna be the one that tells them to not fuck with me again.
Do you see what's in this fish tank? Don't fuck with me. This'll be you.
Actually, when I came back to the U.S., I found out that I had they don't really clean their shit pretty well there, and I wound up with like 4 different kinds of parasites when I came back.
Oh shit!
I ate something. So I didn't know like or I didn't know what was in the food they gave us because like it was like a local delicacy and like I kind of want to like try what the fuck people ate in Belize because you know you want to try shit out like you're curious like what the fuck do people in this area eat?
E. coli.
Where'd you go?
It looked yeah, so like it looked like a salad with strawberries in it. And I was like, okay, this is a weird looking strawberry, and
And it was just pure
everything. I
bacteria with a
realized
cherry tomato.
it was raw fucking meat they threw into this thing. It was fucking like raw cubes of meat. And I'm like, I guess it's supposed to be edible because they're eating it. And if I don't eat it, I look like a dick. So I ate it, and then about 2 weeks later, I come to the U.S. I had tapeworms, worms, some other kind of pinworms. It was a whole fucking list. And
Yeah, the
I
whole
was,
shebang.
Like, hospitalized for like 4. I was like in the hospital for like 4 days, like on like a fucking like Dr. House episode of them trying to figure out what was wrong with
Yeah.
me.
Oh my god.
Dude, they were like, and like the only reason like they figured out what was wrong was on one of the questions they like on the 3rd day they're like, "Have you ever been outside the U.S.?" I hit
Bam.
yes, and then that's when they're like, "Oh, that's where that probably happened." So that's when they tested me for all the parasites, and yeah, that was hell on earth. I hated that.
Oh, I bet, dude.
Yeah, and nothing scares you more than when you
Why
know
can't
go
I
to use the
change
restroom,
my
all of a sudden the
avatar?
toilet starts speaking Italian to you. That's fucking horrifying.
Oh, that's the worst part of the whole experience.
God damn.
Yeah.
I look
Wait,
down,
what's
it's
the
like
toilet
fucking
talking
watching
about?
like some like episode of the Halo Flood shit going on down there. I'm like, okay, well that's not normal.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I've only had
that was
to.
fucking
Yeah,
horrifying. God.
I've only had to be like sent to the ER like once. Oh, sorry, I interrupted.
No, you're good. I've
Alright, well.
been in the ER like 3 times.
Yeah, I've only been
My
sent there
first
once. It was
time-
it was because of a.
Go ahead.
Oh my god. I work as a butcher, and how we used to kill lambs until this happened was we would literally just straddle the lambs and slit their throats by sticking a knife behind their Adam's apple, fucking going out and then coming back in to fucking finish slitting it. The motherfucking lamb that I got, I stuck the knife in and then it bucked up and left and drove the tip of my very, very sharp knife right into my wrist.
Oof.
Ooh.
So,
Damn.
jumped out. Yeah. Sent right to the fucking hospital.
I have 3 really. Two of my ER visits were really weird, and I consider the 3rd one an ER visit because of how fucking morbid it was, even though I wasn't actually sent to the ER for it. My first time was I was trying to impress a girl actually because I wanted to
that
be
was your
fucking
first
macho as
mistake.
shit, right? Like I wanted to like show this girl like I'm the man's man, like I'm like the toughest shit on planet Earth, right? So we were like playing basketball at a tournament, and like they had like the boys section and the girls section of basketball, and like since it's a Christian school, they have them like kind of segregated, kind of weird. So basically, whoever wasn't playing at that time was outside in the field, right? Yeah, like we were full on segregated. I was like boys here, girls here, and then like schools, like each school had their own little section. So like everyone was like fucking like line by line, right? So
Oh.
they kind of like let us kind of play around for a bit. So I saw this girl I thought was really cute, and I'm like, bro, like I'm gonna seduce that. Like I'm gonna say what's up. So in order to like kind of get her attention,
I'm gonna
right,
seduce
I was
that
like, okay,
shit.
what if I like throw this like $20 bill at the top of this batting cage and just fucking like Tarzan my way up there, like show off all my muscles and shit, and just like drop back down, like look like some fucking hero shit. Like what if I can do that, right? So
Superman
I'm like,
landing.
whoops, and I just fucking yeet this fucking $10 bill because of course she didn't see that point blank. Fucking total genius I was, and I'm like, all right, now I gotta climb this thing. So I start climbing. I'm doing good. And I get it, and I jump down, right? So when I jump down, when batting cages like have like that chain link area, when they link together, they have like it's like a mesh. Like the bottom fence is poking up, the top fence is poking down. So it's like this like big sharp X area, right? And there's like all along that is where like the excess chain is. But when they cut that chain, they don't like make it smooth. They leave it as is.
Yeah,
So
they
whenever
leave it
saw
jagged
that
as
chain,
hell.
It's like these really fucking. Yeah, it's like this like really jagged like needles sticking upwards and downwards. And me, blissfully unaware, I jump down and my arms are out. And I feel like a pinch in my arm and I look down down, and there was like a solid inch long cut into my arm all the way in. Like it's like whatever, like you know how like whenever you see like a cartoon where there's like a guy running off a cliff and all of a sudden he's running on air. Like that's
Yeah.
how it felt with my arm. Like there was like a giant gap of air into my arm where there used to be like a piece of my arm, and then it starts filling with blood. I'm like, oh fuck. So like I'm like holding my arm together, like I'm holding my arm, and like blood's going everywhere, and I'm like, oh
Put
shit,
some dirt
oh,
in
shit,
it,
oh,
you'll be
shit.
fine.
So like I'm running it because I didn't want her to see this. Like I didn't want her to see me fucking this up. So I'm like holding my arm like together, and I'm like walking away all cool and shit, like nothing just happened. And then I get into the gym area where the basketball game's going on, and I look
It's a
down and my
secluded area.
entire arm is like fucking like dark red from all the blood going down. I'm like, oh
Alright.
shit. So like someone saw it and just starts fucking screaming, and the entire fucking game stopped, and they had to fucking like they laid me down this kitchen island and just started fucking like they started like gauze bandaging everything. And like I just remember the fucking embarrassment of me laying on this island table, and the girl that I was trying to flirt with was like across the fucking gym looking at me with this fucking disgust in her eyes. I'm like, well, that fucking failed. God damn it. And the second time was not my fault. I was working at Subway, and there was a new girl there. The only fucking thing I remember about her was she was really short, and she kept talking about how she liked to eat her man's asshole. That's the only fucking two things I remember about her. The only fucking two things.
You're letting that handle food?
That wouldn't happen at
That's the only
Quiznos.
fucking thing I knew about this girl, okay? I did not know anything about her other than the fact she was like short, blonde, and she kept talking about how much she loved eating her man's asshole.
You eat ass and we shared a Coke yesterday.
So I'm
What
like,
the
okay,
fuck?
you know, whatever, man. This is Arkansas. I expect this from this state. I'm not gonna question why you publicly tell everyone in your fucking store, oh, hey, I'm eating my man's booty like groceries. I'm not gonna ask you this shit. I'm just
Welcome
gonna
to
work
Subway
here.
and I'd eat ass. My name's Emily. How can I help you?
Yeah, it's like, okay, thanks for dropping that one-liner. That's the only thing I think I know about you. And so, I swear she has like the brain capacity of a fucking kid. She's so like, she has no mental capacity. Okay, so when you wash dishes in like an industrial level area, you have this big ass like water tub. And then whenever you put the soapy water in there, there's like a solid 4 inches of soap, right? Like all the suds and everything, so you can't see shit, right? So everyone there is aware that the bread knives go separate from the rest of the stuff, so that way when you're washing, you don't actually cut yourself in the knife because you can't see them, right? And these bread knives that we got, they were not only serrated, but they were also like wavy. So like on the knifed edge, it was like a wave back
Yeah,
and forth on
ooh.
top of it already being serrated.
Oh,
So
that's
these
giving me
fucking
PTSD.
knives
Holy
were
shit.
gnarly, right? So I'm like, okay, everyone's aware. We're all cool. Like, no one's gonna hurt each other. Let's get our day going. So it was about 9 p.m. at night, and we're about to close. And I was washing the dishes, and all of a sudden I just feel like this fucking pain go up my arm. Like it was fucking hell. And
You're
I
like, oh,
pulled
no.
my arm out real quick. So I was scrubbing this bread pan horizontally in the water, and then there was a knife that was lodged at the bottom of the bread pan, facing upwards. So when I went to scrub
Oh,
downwards with a
jeez.
brush, the knife
Oh,
went
no.
into my index or my forefinger, went straight
Oh, this is
through
Vietnam, so
that
it's good.
finger and cut the next finger. So this knife was inside of my fucking finger all the way through. And I'm like, holy fucking shit, this hurts. And I realized I had to pull this thing out. And I swear to God, that was the worst fucking thing about this, was pulling out this fucking curved blade out of my hand. Holy shit, that hurt.
Oh,
And I'm
no.
I am screaming in the back, like, I can't fucking take the pain. It ripped through, it was cutting into my bone, like, it was touching the bone when it came out. And so it was cutting into my bone on top of that, like a bone saw. And I was fucking just screaming in pain. And I'm like, I pull my arm back, and the other two workers that were there rushed back to see what's going on, and see me like holding my fucking like blackened finger by now because of how much blood I was just fucking gouging out. And they were like, "You need to go to the ER right now." And I'm like, "No, man, I can keep working. I'm good. Just give me a minute. Like, I'll be fine." They're like, "No, you go to the fucking ER. Like, that's ER shit. That's not us shit. You go right fucking now." The problem was, it is winter time. It's nighttime, and I own a moped while it's snowing. And now I'm like fucking driving one-handed with like I drive both hands, but my right hand, like I had to expose to the weather, and that's the right hand that I cut. And like it's fucking
didn't drive
snowing, it's fucking cold as shit, and I'm just fucking miserable getting to the ER. I finally get to the ER, and they tell me it's a fucking 20-minute wait. So I'm fucking sitting there, like, holding my finger while it's, like, dripping out and shit. And I'm just, like, sitting in the parking lot waiting for it. And, like, people are, like, walking by me and just see this fucking, like, puddle of blood underneath me. And they're just like, alright, whatever.
What the fuck?
Oh,
That does
man.
not sound like a good hospital.
Man's going on about such
Nah, dude, I was like, alright.
Oh, sorry.
You're
You're fucking losing blood. You cut an artery. All right, it's a 20-minute wait for you, sir. Next.
Yeah, like, yeah, it's like, what the
Oh, you're
fuck,
losing
dude?
blood? You gotta wait 30 minutes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, we got to
I
treat this
kinda
COVID patient first.
Right.
That was back in like 20. I think it was back in 2000.
Yeah.
2010.
Yeah.
So it's been about a good while. So it's been about
Fuck, I was in second grade.
I successfully cloned
I
someone's
was in. I think I was a sophomore or a junior. I think I was junior when that happened. 'cause
You
I was-
never
I was-
knew way better.
Now you can.
Wait, wasn't this before Jared? Fucking.
Yeah, that was after Jared actually. I was
Oh, after shit.
Jared.
You know, I forget how long ago that was. God, I'm fucking old.
That was back in 2003, I think, when he got outed out. But so the last fucking story I remember about the ER, and this is why it doesn't count because I didn't actually go to the ER, but this is the fucking worst one out of the three that I should have been sent for. So I'm originally from Alaska, and in Alaska we had these things called Devil's Club. They're these really fucking mean sticker bushes. Like, if you ever if you know like stickers, like the really bad thorn bushes you can get, and they stick to you, they stick on you, and like they leave these really bad needles in your eye. So I was in Alaska, and this puddle we're playing tug of war, and it was like a Christian youth camp thing in Alaska. Like it happens like once a year. It's pretty fun. I think it's called like Camp Arrowhead or something like cheesy shit like that. But the camp of like the last day or like the last week that we're there had like these cool little activities you could do, right? And one of them was like like a King of the Hill. I forgot what it's called. Like the word's there. I just said it a second ago. Tug of war. It was tug of war. And you know me, I've always been the biggest kid out of any grade ever since I was like in 8th grade. I'm just fucking massive. I'm 6'10" now, and I'm a dad bod. So like I've always been like the heavyweight. Like, so I'm like, dude, if I play tug of war, my team's gonna win easy. So I hop in like on my team, and they see how big I am, and like one of the guys like, nah, hell no, and they fucking they put that fucking like teacher on their team, like enemy team. So I had to fucking if you ever watched like Total Drama Island, remember Chef, like the big black
Oh my
guy?
god. Oh,
Like, he
hell
was the guy
fucking
on the
yeah,
enemy team.
dude.
Yeah, like Chef was like the guy in the enemy team. He fucking walks up and fucking like Iron Man like wraps his arm around the fucking rope, looks me dead in the eye and says, "Bring it on, son." I'm like, "Oh boy, all right, we're gonna fight now." So like behind them are like the fucking 7 dwarves, and then it's just him, this fucking black dude, just holding the rope. And on my team, it's me and every fucking skinny kid on the entire fucking campus. Like, they were so fucking tiny and useless. I'm like, alright, it's just me versus the black
freshman.
guy. Let's be real here. So I'm like, bro, let's just be real. It's gonna be me versus this guy. The rest are just backup. So I'm like, alright, here we go. I'm gonna die or I'm gonna kill. It's gonna be one of the two. So
In case the rope breaks, the children are there.
So, you know, we had our shoes off because, you know, it's fucking tug of war, it's water. I mean, who the fuck cares? We're not pussies. So like, okay, whatever. And they had we pull, and my team just gets fucking obliterated. I just go fucking yeeting into the water, and my foot slides down this puddle, and then all of a sudden I feel this really sharp pain, and I think to myself, oh fuck, it's a Devil's Club. So Devil's Club is like this really fucking mean like sticker bush. Like, it's like a really fucking mean sticker. It's like how a normal sticker in like Texas has like 5 thorns. This thing I think has like 80. It's a fucking nightmare to get stung by one of these things. It is the worst pain you could have in Alaska.
Cyber, come here.
And me, like, I'm thinking, oh, okay, I got hit by one of those. I'll just go to like the water hose, wash it off, and I'll pull it off, right? So I go to the water hose and like, hey bros, like I got a club on me. Could you wash it off? Like, okay, sure, yeah, no problem, kid. So they wash my foot and I'm looking away, and I all of a sudden like they're on like the backseat of this pickup truck with like the hose like hanging off of it, and they're both sitting on there. And I hear all of a sudden I hear like a thud, and one guy's like, holy fuck! And like I look down, and like where my foot is on my big toe is no longer like big toe. It's like my toe, and then all of a sudden I see the bottom part of my toe like facing towards me, and I realized
Oh.
that my fucking toe got cut in half. Like, straight up
Shit.
the bottom got cut open from the half. And I'm like,
But in
holy
Jesus
fuck, holy
Christ.
fuck. I was like, holy fucking shit, dude. Like, I'm actually losing my shit over the fact that this fucking, like, my toe is, like, no longer there, dude. I'm absolutely fucking livid.
Your toe committed
So-
mitosis.
So, like, this fucking toe is, like, just fucking obliterated. I'm like, holy fucking shit, dude. Like, what the fuck? And, like, I'm not in pain. I'm just, like, in pure shock. Like, holy fucking shit, dude. I didn't think this would even happen. I didn't realize what was happening. And, like,
Nicholas Cage, I'm a huge fan.
drag me into the truck, and they pull me, they take me down to, like, this campus building. And, the campus building has, like, a big kitchen, and then it has, like, a little, it has, like, a big dining area in it. And it has a balcony that leads over into the lake. So they put me on the balcony with my foot rested up, and they basically were like, okay, we have to sell this shit, like, we have to sell this shut down, or, like, you're gonna lose, like, all blood to your toe, probably, like, forever, or some shit, like, it's gonna be bad. So,
Oh.
they started looking for a first aid kit, but the first aid kit didn't have anything for stitching, so they were like, oh, fuck, what do we do? But we had fishing for pike, and we had like these like little fishing hooks for pike, which are if you're familiar with fishing, how they have like the 3-prong things, or like it goes with 3
Yeah, treble hooks.
So like
One got stuck on my
they're
brother's
like,
finger
okay,
once.
we have these hooks, but they're not one-sided; they're 3-sided. So they fucking like they got like some bolt, like a little mini bolt cutter pliers things, and cut off 2 sides, and all of a sudden it was like this hook with like these nasty little spikes sticking out both ways.
Jesus
And they're
Christ.
like, well, this will. They said this will do, and they fucking say, okay, now we've got the needle. We're gonna use fishing line for thread. But first we have to like wash it out, right? So like, okay, like how do we wash this shit out, right? So
Talk about field
they got
dressing,
some
Jesus Christ.
They got some hydrogen peroxide, and they're like, okay, like this cures pretty much like all the antibiotic stuff. You just like put some lemon on there and it's fine. But because my toe was open, they're like, well, should we like turn it upside down and wash it? And they're like, should we do that? And they didn't read the directions. They just kind of said, fuck it, yeah. And on the directions, it specifically says you don't, like, spray hydrogen peroxide like a fucking jet onto an open injury. Like, that's bad. And they didn't read that part. So, this whole time, before all this happens, they call my grandmother, who's, like, basically the person I was staying with in Alaska, and say, hey, your son got his toe cut open. We're gonna fix him up, though, so he'll be alright. Just hang in there and he'll be fine. But when they said he'll be fine, that's when they decided to put the peroxide into my toe. So I'm not aware of any of this. They basically hold my legs down and put a hand over my eye and tell me this is gonna hurt. And they turn this fucking peroxide bottle upside down and they fucking squeeze that shit. And Chef, the guy from before, was the one squeezing it. So this guy has a fucking like masturbation hand of God squeezing the fucking peroxide bottle into my open wound. And I am fucking just absolutely blowing it, dude. I'm like, holy fucking shit! Ah! Like, I am in so much agonizing pain because this fucking chemical is pretty much being put directly in my fucking bloodstream. I am in absolute fucking nightmarish pain. And
my God.
the whole time, my grandmother's on the phone on the inside of the building, and she hears this. She fucking hears me screaming bloody murder. And she's like, is he okay? Like, what's going on? And like, he's like, he's alright. I'm like fucking sore, like, fucking bitch, oh god. And she's like, hey, you shouldn't be swearing. And and like the guy that was on the phone, turned to me and said, hey, your grandma said stop swearing. And my fucking words flew out of my mouth. There was no filter in my body. I said, fucking tell her to burn in hell. I was like,
Jesus
I was no fucking,
Christ.
like, I had no words that could be held back. I was just fucking throwing out insults left and right. I was in agonizing pain. And then on top of that, immediately, that's when they start putting the hook into my toe. That's when that's when they started fucking sewing it shut. And holy fucking shit, dude. When I looked at it the next day, it was like someone just like took a cheese grater and just fucking just destroyed my toe with this thing. There was there was not really much of a toe there. It was
Oh
just
my
a bunch
God.
of like scar tissue with like a toenail on top of it. And to this day, it's like I look
That
at the
sounds
bottom of my toe,
horrible.
It just looks so fucking eviscerated. God damn.
Oh my
And
god.
then that wasn't the last of the fucking pain this toe went through. I
Oh,
got
boy.
an ingrown toenail on that toe, but it got infected.
But wait, there's
right?
more.
When I was in boot camp, they decided they had to remove it, so they had to put like these like pain injector shots into it. And the best way I can like describe these shots, it's like being bitten by a really big fire ant, and then it just stops. It's like really fucking painful. You feel it, and then it just stops. I'm like, okay, cool. So they do it 3 times. They put it at the very tip of your toe, the sides of your toe, and then on like the edges of your toenails. That way, like for sure, your pain's gonna be gone, right? So
Right.
I'm like, okay, let's do it. So they do it, and like the shots are okay, you know, I handled it pretty well. And then they get the forceps, they put it underneath my toenail. I'm like, fuck, that hurts. And they're like, oh, you can feel that? I'm like, yeah, like you just fucking jammed something in my toe, it fucking hurts. And I'm like, oh, okay, we'll give you more shots. So they gave me 2 more. And they do it again. I'm like, god damn, that fucking hurts. Like, it's like that episode of like SpongeBob where like Squidward has like the dresser dragging on his toe. Like that's how it felt. I'm like, fucking.
Oh,
hell, that hurts,
no,
dude.
no,
Like,
no, 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 no,
stop. And they're like, okay, we'll stop. We'll give you more shots. So you're supposed to get 3 shots. I'm on shot 12 of this
Oh my
fucking fire
God.
feeling. And they're like, do you still feel this? I'm like, yes, I still feel this. And they're like looking at me with like this like look in their eyes. So I want to pause real quick here. Where they decided to do this was in boot camp. There's like there's this room that's like for physical therapy. It's like these like a bunch of gym mats and like this like open area, and like these people are doing squats and stretches and stuff, right? And then in the corner of this like gym, there's like this windowed area. There's a little like operating table there with like the little lounge chair, like operating table, you know, people usually work on in the medic field. I don't know what it's called, but it's like that thing. And then there's like these little straps on the arms in case, you know, something goes bad. So I'm like,
Do they have to strap you down?
The people outside were doing stretches. The people outside were stretching. There's like 30 people in there. And you know, I'm in the next room over getting my toe operated on. And all of a sudden, the guy tells me, like the guy on the left and the right start like kind of like buckling my arms in. And I'm like, what are you doing? And they're like, look,
Oh my god.
medically we have to get this toenail out, and I'm sorry. Like he just said, I'm sorry. And the fucking third guy puts a book in my mouth, and they fucking start just getting the forceps and just fucking ram it into my toenail, and they start tugging and pulling. Holy fucking shit, I am screaming in this book. I am absolutely fucking just absolute mind-boggling pain in this book. Absolutely hollering, cursing my existence, and then my brain just like fucking goes on the autopilot, and I just try to do like all the alphabetical, what do they call it? The alphabet.
Letters of the alphabet?
Alpha, Bravo, Charlie thing. I do
Oh,
the
right.
whole fucking thing. I'm Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot. Like, I'm like going through every fucking word, trying to distract myself from this pain. And then on the outside, those people are doing stretches. All are seeing this. They see me being strapped down, kicking and screaming into a book with these fucking guys holding me down. The 5th guy notices this and fucking slowly closes the blinds. So they just see this fucking guy getting murdered in the operating room. This 5th guy just looks at everyone and closes the blinds.
You didn't
By the
see
time, like,
anything.
yeah, like, you guys don't need to see this. So
Get
by the
back to
time they
work.
fucking, by the time they're done, the guy like pulls a book out of my mouth, and I bit into it so hard I was bleeding from the teeth, and like there was like blood on the
Jesus.
fucking book.
Oh my
Like,
god.
They're like, well, there it's done. But the worst part was, on top of all of that, there was still a piece of broken nail still inside the band, like the gauze tape they put on there, so it was like pushing into my toe. So the next day, I'm like waking up and I feel like this like sharp knife going into my toe. I'm like, are you fucking serious? And I had to like slowly take off this bandage. But the problem with bandaging those toenails is that whenever you're bleeding out of something and like you put like a gauze bandage in it, the scab will go into the tape. So when I'm like taking off this bandage, I am literally ripping off the skin of my nail, like the skin of my undernail, all over again. Oh my god, I can't describe the fucking sensation. But then I finally pull out that fucking piece of nail, and it felt so good getting that thing out of my toenail. I'm like, oh, thank God. But yeah, dude,
Worth
that
it.
fucking toe has been through like. That fucking toe has been through hell. Like my big toe, I'm surprised it's even still there. It deserves a Medal of Honor. Holy shit.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
poor
props
Joe,
for
man.
fucking persevering through all that shit. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
That
dude.
sounds fucking painful as all shit.
I think my dad, like, when I told him the story, I think he realized I'm more of a man than he is, because I don't think he ever went through that kind of shit before. He's like, fuck.
He's like, I think the only thing that could have gone through his mind was like, holy fuck. But then the second thought was, that's my son.
dude, like, oh, man.
Oh my god, dude.
I scared the other guy away. He's like, no, be left.
No, I fucking love listening to this.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm surprised my big toe is still there after all that
Yeah.
shit, man.
Reese,
God.
do you have any other cool stories?
I mean, other than
Yeah, tell the story, buddy.
right, this one's about my fucking father. He went to Alright, so it's not really a cool story, it's just something fucking funny that happened. Alright.
The floor is yours.
Right. The desktop is me. So they usually carpool. My dad's crew. They usually carpooled with him to work. He's a contractor. He fucking helps build drywall and shit. Basically helped build like apartment buildings, things of the like. And picked up this guy named Rudy. Rest in peace. Fucking miss him. He always rode in the back seat and behind the passenger seat. And they're picking up this other guy named Joe, and Joe fucking climbs up. Like after they pick up Joe, they usually pick up a guy named Sherman. This is important. Joe's climbing into the passenger seat, and Rudy, God knows where he gets this aim, pokes Joe right in the ass. And I swear, if he wasn't wearing any pants or anything down there, it would have been right up Main Street.
Hooked him with what?
Poked him with his finger right in the ass.
Oh, okay.
Guy, of course, fucking Joe, of course. Dude, what the fuck? And then Rudy goes, "Oh my god, I'm sorry. I thought you were Sherman." And he goes, "Oh, that's okay." My dad goes, "No, it's fucking not." it's most definitely not okay. So yeah, from then on, that was labeled the Sherman test. I told my boss about that story, and then of course, fucking, he's laughing his ass cause it's a fucking great story. Fucking tell my boss about it. A week and a half later, we get a new guy, and we're all in the break room going on lunch. And I said, "Hey, whatever you do, don't make us have to test if you're Sherman." My boss, he's like doing something, he just stops and starts laughing his ass off. It's like, oh my god.
That's a good
I,
joke.
yeah,
Shit.
I have another story about Rudy too. Fucking, but
Go for it.
yeah. All right, so my dad brings Rudy. It's just Rudy this time, and he brings him to work, stoned off his ass, and they're going to work on a church. That's already fucking hilarious. And my dad they pull in, and my dad says to Rudy, "Hey, start bringing in the stuff from the truck. I'm gonna go talk to the supervisor." He says, "All right." My dad goes into the building, starts talking to the job boss, the supervisor, and my dad's facing the door where he can see Rudy coming back and forth. He's talking to the supervisor, sees Rudy bringing in extension cables, a couple board carts, and in this church, there's like a propane heater. It's a fucking big building. It's fucking cold. So there's a fucking like heater blasting fucking hot air into the fucking room. And Rudy, my dad sees him bring in a couple orange buckets. Key thing here, orange buckets. And he sets them down in front of him with the heater blasting air behind him. And he rubs his hands together and puts them over the buckets. And then turns around and sees that the heater's behind him. He goes, "Oh, okay." My dad fucking saw that. I know. My dad goes, "Excuse me. What the fuck?" He's like, "Oh, you saw that? God damn it." What the fuck?
Fucking so stoned out of his ass. He's like,
So
don't
stoned.
keep the fucking
So
gun
yeah.
on these."
So now my family, we've never been able to look at an orange bucket the same ever since.
God damn it. That's great.
It's fucking amazing. All right. I actually have an.
I used to work construction at a really young age. I started at 14, working for my dad's construction company. He works on mobile homes, basically installing them into the ground, kind of thing. It's called retrofit, but it's a long story. But
Right.
I worked for a guy named Bobby Bridgewater. He's like the main guy who does all this shit. And this dude is he's like the funniest fucking dude I ever met in my life. He's just really fucking brolic, this fucking huge ass black guy, and he's the fucking funniest character I met in my life. But the first time I ever met him was my dad gets him into the truck, and I'm passed out in the backseat with his blanket over me, right? Like, I'm passed the fuck out, and I hear someone get in the truck, so I lean up with a blanket still on my head, and fucking Bobby looks back and just sees this fucking object, like this fucking ghost, rising to the back and looking right at him, and this fucking dude jumps out of the truck with this fucking, 350-pound, like, fucking ton of muscle, fucking leaps back and fucking goes, "What the fuck is that?" And I'm spooked because this fucking big black dude's like screaming at my face. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like a fucking third grader. Dude. I'm fucking terrified. Like, I don't know who this guy is. He's just some fucking big dude at night running at me, like screaming at me. I'm fucking terrified right now. And like, my dad is like just so fucking mesmerized by what just happened. He's like laughing. He's like, "Okay, son, this is Bobby. He's your new manager." It's like, "I don't like Bobby. He scared me." And Bobby's like, "I don't like you either. You scared me too." And for the next month, he fucking called me Ghost, and I was a fucking ghost kid. And I was
that's
I
awesome.
was this fucking 14-year-old scrawny white kid, like working with these three fucking hunky ass black dudes going into these houses, and the fucking worst part about this was the fact that we're in this ranty ass truck, this fucking old ass work truck, and but one time we went to a gas station, and one of the fucking employees thought I was being human trafficked. They thought I was being sold.
Oh my god.
Kidnapped by these guys. And they fucking called the cops, and they had to call my dad and shit. Oh my god, because I'm covered, I wasn't covered in cement dust, I was covered in a whole bunch of concrete mix.
You look like you've been through hell.
I look so fucking bad. And then these two guys were all nice looking, looked like they barely did a thing. So they thought I got fucking kidnapped or some shit. They had to fucking call the police.
Being worked as a slave.
I didn't. And the worst part was that I can't handle as a kid, I didn't handle police very well, so they were asking me questions, I couldn't really answer them that well. So on top of that now, I wasn't responding to anything.
It's like, this isn't helping.
Oh my god, dude. But Bobby was fucking so cool, dude. Bobby was my favorite fucking guy growing up. He told me, he first kind of thought I was weird, he thought I was some rich white kid. And then after a while, after we were working together, he's like, "Alright, you're alright." But then he started asking me what I thought. He kind of prodded me a bit to see if some people like to see if you're racist or some shit like that. He'd ask what do you think black people like and shit like that? I'm like, I don't fucking know. You're the third one I've ever met. I don't know what what people fucking. I don't know what the fellow hood boys think, man. I don't fucking know your shit, dude. I'm cool with it though. Whatever you want to do. I don't know. I didn't want to.
I don't know. I just work here.
And he loves it. He fucking loves it, dude. He likes to kind of make me feel nervous about that shit. So every fucking day he'd ask me a white or black question, and he just wanted to see my face trying to rationalize and dodge bullets. And his buddies caught on, so all of a sudden I'm the fucking
everyone was doing it.
Break down to the back every fucking workday and try to defend my honor or some shit. And one day, we went to this house. It was in some East Texas area. It was in this really fucking dry, mountainous area. And in the underneath this house, we couldn't actually get to where we needed to be. So we had to kind of tunnel our way in there with this really shitty shovel. And I was going underneath this house, and whenever I first got to the place, there was this really young girl there. She was wearing a really nice looking shirt, nice looking pants, and whatever. And like I'm over here like muscular, not even thinking about this at all. I'm like sweating, muscular, like I had like this fucking wife beater shirt on, and like I was like had my hair like medium, so I was like pulling it back and shit. I'm like sweating out in the field, working my ass off. And
she just looks at you and goes,
from my
moist.
point of view, from my point of view, like I'm completely unaware of all this. I'm just working, you know, not minding my own business, just kind of doing my own thing. And I realized later on she changed into some different clothes. That's the only two things I ever noticed about this girl, right? But Bobby saw the whole shit go down. Bobby saw her look at me, and she was fondling herself in the fucking window watching me. And he's caught her doing it multiple times. And on the third time, she tried to like change clothes and fucking like do some moves in the window, and I was not even looking at her, but he saw everything. And then like she stepped out front porch to do it again, like that's when I saw her, but I didn't see her do anything seductive. I was just fucking minding my own. So
Yeah.
whenever we got into the truck and drove away, Bobby fucking looked at me the whole fucking 3-hour ride home. Like, and at one point, I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, did you not fucking see that, you dumbass? I'm like, what? What happened? Like, what are you talking about? And like, he fucking explained everything. And I'm like, dude, I wasn't paying attention to her. I just wanted the $100 I get for working, man. I didn't fucking know. Like, I wasn't looking at some girl, dude. I'm trying to work. Like, dude, as fuck, dude. And he's like,
Oh my
you got
God.
no game, bitch. You got no game. He was like just shitting on me for weeks on that, telling me I'm never gonna get laid. And he told me on my 21st, for my 18th birthday, he's gonna take me to a strip club just so I can fucking fantasize about it.
Bro,
I
that's...
fucking love Bobby, dude.
Oh my God, yeah, he sounds like the
God, I
greatest
fucking love
motherfucker
Bobby.
ever.
Dude, he was so fucking.
God, I want to meet him. He sounds fucking amazing.
Like he told me one day he thought one of our clients was kind of hot, so the entire time he had me work and watch him hit on her. he's like on the porch like trying to make moves, and I'm literally underneath the porch working, laughing my ass off. Dude, he was fucking amazing. I
Oh
fucking
my
love Bobby,
God.
dude. God damn, he was a legend. Fucking Bobby, god damn it. Like he took me to his house one day, and like he had a girlfriend there with like 2 kids, and like I thought they were kind of cool and everything, but then when like we got back into the car, and like he just tells me, look, I'm gonna teach you something your dad never taught you. Some girls are hot as fuck, but their brain dead is a fucking barn animal. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Like, he was so nice to her. You could not fucking read a thing, and the second he gets in the car, he fucking drops that bomb on me. I'm like, God damn. I fucking love that guy, dude. God,
Oh yeah,
fucking
he
damn it.
sounds fucking amazing.
Dude, if he made every workday fun. It didn't matter what kind of shitty job we had. It
Oh
was great.
fucking yeah, we need more guys like
Yeah.
that. Goddamn.
He's like really fucking scared of wasps and like bees and shit. Like he's morbidly terrified of
And
them,
kids in blankets in the back seat.
yeah, fucking kids in blankets. And one day we were working, and they
God, I
were,
really
like,
want to make
he
a really
told me,
bad
like,
joke.
He told me, look, kid, like,
Send
there's a
it.
bee's nest over there, and I know your dad's paying you $100 to work for me and like jealous shit, and he paid me to do this, but I'll pay you another $100 if you go in there and spray them with wasp spray. He didn't tell me how fucking big the nest was. So, I, like,
Best to
opened
be
the
left
barn
omitted.
shed, and I shit you not, like how like barns have beams, right? Like
Yeah.
between 2 beams, like a 3-foot gap, and it's like an 8-foot wall. That entire 3-foot gap, 8 foot tall, was an entire fucking bee nest.
Jesus
He's like-
Christ.
He looked at me. He's like, "Look, son.
Good luck.
I'll
Good
double
luck,
to
sport."
$200. You get $200 for doing this. I'm not stepping in there." I'm
Just
like,
good luck.
Man, I don't know.
Dude, you'd have better luck just fucking like putting the can in there, closing the door most of the way, and fucking shooting it with a 22.
Bro, like, he just gave me that one-shot can. Like, he gave me that fucking black can of destiny is what he gave me. He's like, dude, you got this. So like what I did was I decided to not directly go in there, but what I thought would be smart was I fucking I got the can, I fucking got a marble, I put the marble on the top, I fucking duct taped the marble on there to its spray, and I opened the
Grenade!
door, threw in like a fucking flashbang. I threw it in there like a flashbang and closed the door. And like 30 seconds later, there's like a hole in the back part of the shed. You just see the fucking like swarm of insects just fucking gash out of there like fucking like a mummy movie. Just fucking
Oh my
coming out of like fucking
God.
black smoke. And in the back, I see Bobby rolling up his window. He's running away, he's not even coming to help me. He's just fucking rolling
like-
the windows up. He's like,
It's
no.
just you played your part. You're on your own.
He's like, I'm not helping you. You're on your own. Oh man.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
I fucking hit the ground. I laid there. Nothing happened to me, but holy fucking shit! It felt like the fucking Armageddon was going off, dude. They were
Horse fucking take cover.
dude. Like, I just saw the fear in his eyes. He looked at me dead in the eyes, like someone who looked at a dead man. He looked at me like he just have killed me. He's
It's like,
nope,
I'm sorry, my
just
child.
raised it
Rolls
for
up
you."
window.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
He had this like look on his face, like he was gonna get fired. He's like, I'm gonna lose my job for that. I mean, it was that or the beast.
He's just sitting in the driver's seat with his head in his hands, like, oh my god, I might have just killed him.
What have I done?
Oh my god, dude. Fucking
God.
Bobby.
It's fucking amazing. I love him already, and I haven't even fucking met him.
God
You've
dude.
heard like 2 stories about him and you're already in love with him.
Hell yeah. I'd let him fuck my wife if I had one.
Jesus Christ. He probably would too. He'd probably be like, okay, whatever.
Alright.
God damn it.
Alright.
Fucking Bobby. This guy he had like 5 kids, and like he's like on the run from CPS.
What the fuck? This Child Protective Services, you
he had to fake his address so they wouldn't track him down. 'Cause he owes,
Oh
like,
my
$5,000 a month.
god.
Yeah, he's like hiding from them.
He's like, are they gone yet?
God, dude. I remember one day, one
Bro,
day,
I should've fucking
one
made
of the agents thought
popcorn.
I was another one of his kids. One of the agents thought I was one of his kids.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
I was working with my dad
damn
one
it,
day, and
Bobby.
fucking the rest of his crew thought I was like a Mexican helping him out. He's like, no, that's my son. Really? Yeah, that's my son. That's my youngest son. Oh shit! If I knew that, I'd have fucking said something.
God damn it.
Oh yeah.
We had one of the guy that worked with us. I forgot his name, but he was like Bobby, but kind of a dick. He was like, however, Bobby was like a nice guy. This was kind of like a less cool version of him. And one day,
White Bobby.
like I know I'm scrawny, but I'm still taller than these 2 guys. And like,
Yeah.
I wasn't really thinking about it. I just had like the shovel on my shoulder and like walking towards him kind of fast. And the fucking other guy thought I was like gonna hit him or something, so he fucking jumped back. And it was so weird, like me being this tall, scrawny dude, and this fucking like massive like NFL player looking guy jumping away from me like I'm gonna attack him. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, how am I gonna hurt you? Like, you're like 3 times my size and body mass alone, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah.
You're gonna kill me with your bare hands. Like, what are you scared of?
Oh yeah.
He
My
hated
fucking.
me. I don't remember his name.
You've been through a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like
Like I
20
said, I don't.
years.
27. Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
fucking know.
I'm,
how I
I'm only
remember all
fucking
this shit.
19. Jesus. All right. My first couple weeks at my my first couple weeks as a butcher being my job, like I'm fucking fresh out of high school. This is my second weekend. They're showing me how to side
Honestly,
hogs.
You have a pretty shitty start to life. You start off as a butcher. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I mean, I'm making $16.50 an hour, so I'm not really complaining.
I
was
don't know what
making
it's like.
10
God,
an
I'm a
hour.
butcher. That makes me feel bad. I can handle that shit, dude. I feel bad for the animals. Like, fuck.
Yeah, well, I don't have a heart. So my second weekend, they're showing me how to side hogs, and there's two guys fucking showing me how. One of the guys says, I'll be back. I gotta go take his shit. And literally, the entire process, him walking away and coming back, 30 seconds.
What the fuck?
I know.
Oh yeah, that's training.
30 fucking seconds. And the other guy fucking immediately catches on to this. He's like, what the fuck? It took you 30 seconds flat. Fucking how much anal sex do you have? You gotta like stitch that shit back together.
You
Spit
got
on
it.
it.
Yeah, second weekend, fucking shy new kid. Like, of course. It's like, you know, they actually made a drug for people that were addicted to anal sex. He's like, really? I was like, yeah, they call it trinoacetal. The guy just looks at me and goes, what the fuck?
Yeah,
That's great. They
I
probably
remember
thought
like
you'd
one of
fit
the
right in.
crazy workplace. I remember, like, one
Yeah.
of my favorite crazy workplace stories was I had a trainer where I was working at in Arkansas. I was working at this like little chicken place, and she was like my night trainer. I was doing night shift, and it was just me and her working. And she fucking said the worst fucking line I've ever fucking heard come out of one's mouth, and I fucking cringed so hard. Okay, so there's
Please
a
do
black
tell.
woman who comes up to the counter, right? The black woman with like kind of clothes, like she looks like she's on like, you know, the lower scale, because, you know,
Well, she wasn't wearing a burlap
down
sack,
front
was she?
area. I don't know.
I can't be
but,
making jokes like that.
So my trainer kind of like it was okay. So how we do it is in this place is whenever someone orders like a specific food, if they don't look like they can like order all of it with cash, she'll like kind of like have like on a suspend order thing, and so you know, we were like assuming, you know, maybe she couldn't, or like she assumed maybe she couldn't order everything, so like couldn't order everything, and the lady was like, she was explaining this to me while I was like, she was training. Like, hey, well, sometimes they look like they can't afford something. We make sure it's on. We have this little suspend button available just in case, you know, it makes it easier for them. And the lady says, "Oh, why would you assume that I couldn't afford this meal?" And the girl looks at her dead in the eyes and just says, "Because the way you look." And the lady was like, looks fucking dead, like just like you kind of see like this fucking look on her face. Like, did she just fucking tell this black lady that she might not be able to afford it because she's black? And the girl that was training me didn't fucking respond, didn't just like fucking froze up, look at her like was so confused.
Like, what the
And I'm
fuck?
like, I'm reading the room like, come on, just say it's because of the clothes. Don't say, just say that part and we're fine. No, she freezes up and just stands there and doesn't say a thing. And then I kick in, I'm like, oh, it's because, you know, some people this late at night sometimes can't afford things. And the lady's like, no, I want to hear it from her. Why do you think I can't afford this food? And she's like not saying a word, and she does the worst thing. She fucking walks away from the counter into the back of the room. Just fucking
Oh my
leaves me there.
God,
With this, like,
that's
lady that she
not a
pretty much
good
just
look.
Fucking, like, blacklisted. So I'm standing there with this now enraged woman on day one of my fucking job, handling this shit. And I have to ring people up that I don't know what the fuck to do. And the girl in the back is now crying in the fucking corner when she's supposed to be training me. So I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like,
Oh my
man,
God,
this is the
dude.
first day.
If anything, you should have been the one crying, not her.
I was
I
internally.
don't know what to do.
Just panic.
Oh god, that was the worst of
What are you
it. She
looking
actually quit like 2 days
You
later on short
motherfucker.
notice. So without any
Oh,
training,
Jesus.
Why are you looking at
I
me?
had to learn. I had to learn how to run the store. But not only that, they
Child,
hired
quiet.
new people and told me to
This
train
isn't a
them.
fucking
I have no
kid's-
I'm
training.
not a fucking child, fucking bitch.
Be quiet. We're listening to a fucking story. Come on, get out of here. Either shut up or get out.
That was a fun place. I got to fight a homeless guy there. That was fun.
You get to fight
Fucking-
a homeless guy. Oh, I want to.
Oh, did you?
The fucking dude, like,
Tell us
the
how you
fucking
fought a
dude
homeless
was,
man.
okay, this guy like went into like I guess he went to like cash in some like lottery tickets. I told him he couldn't do it at night. So like he like grabs me by the fucking collar over the counter, like goes like he actually fucking grabs me and he starts yelling at me, but like he's missing like half of his teeth. So when he's like screaming and cussing, he's like spitting at me like projectiles.
yeah.
to get talk
Like
straight.
that.
And I'm like fucking
Projectile
disgusted, and like I shove him back. I'm like, fucking stop spitting on me, you fucking old hag! Jesus Christ! And like, you know, I didn't say it like that, but like, you know, I'm being as polite as I can. And he fucking throws a punch at me and like hits me in the chest. And for some reason, my body, like, it didn't really, like, it was like a light punch, but my body was like, I'm gonna
Fight or
punch
flight
him in
mode.
the face as hard as I fucking can. I'm gonna just do it. And I just fucking did it. I fucking, like, I just full on, like, I didn't go for a jab. I went for a fucking right hook swing, hit it right at
Oh my
temple.
God.
And it was like a fucking ragdoll effect. The dude, like, fucking, like, jumped back while it happened, and he just fucking, like, spun in the air a little bit. And, like, everything was on camera. My boss saw me fucking lay down this guy, and he fucking, like, went, like, 3 feet backwards because he jumped. And my boss just fucking ripped me a new asshole the next day. He's
You
like,
were defending
"How fucking
yourself.
attack our guests and blah blah blah." And I'm
You were
like,
defending
I didn't know
yourself.
what to say. Like, I'm like, well, the guy spat on me, and then he grabbed me and shit, and I pushed him away, and then he punched me, and I
you in the chest.
punched him back. Yeah, like a little love tap in the head. Like, come on.
You were
what's the word?
defending
What's
yourself.
that
What the
word?
fuck's the harm in
Yeah.
that?
But the like,
what's the harm in that?
Stupid, you got reprimanded for that.
My brain told me to say this. I didn't say it, but I said my brain told me to say he's homeless. Who's gonna go complain to? I'm like, no, don't you fucking say that. Don't you fucking say that. Holy shit.
It's like punching an orphan. Who are they gonna go cry to? Their parents?
Oh,
No,
God, that was like the equivalent. I'm like, yeah, like there's like my brain told me to say like, no, you're not that much of an asshole. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me,
I mean,
dude.
I've never gotten into an actual fucking fight, but I've been threatened to be beat up fucking 3 times. That's really it. 2 of them were from the same
I've beat up a
motherfucker.
lot.
Oh.
I got beat up a lot as a kid, and the worst part wasn't my stepdad because he was a pile, like a fucking pile of shit. He beat me and my mom a lot, and so I learned how to take punches from someone bigger than me in kindergarten because he would like punch me and my mom a lot, and I learned how to fight at like a really fucking young age. And when I went to 3rd grade, I got harassed by bullies, and they didn't realize that I was ready for their shit. And like I said before, I'm usually the fucking tallest guy in
protagonist
the room.
approaches.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
they don't realize I'm the fucking tallest guy in the room, for 1, and 2, I fucking took a beating like they'll never give me. So when they fucking threw punches, I threw the real one punches back. I'm like, oh hell no. He
Every
was
shot's a
taller than
kill
me,
shot.
He wasn't. It was like watching a kid just throw around teddy bears. I was just fucking him up so bad. I was like, nope, fuck this, fuck these
It's
kids.
like
Ah,
it's like they gave you a metal pole and they gave everyone else pool noodles.
it's like they gave me a fucking metal rod and they're like walking around with the fucking slinkies.
Yeah,
Have
exactly.
fun, kid.
They have a pool noodle with a fucking slinky that's weaved around it. Reinforced with copper wire, and that's it.
Like I always felt bad because whenever I'm in a fight, it's always more than one person. They always want to like jump me. Like there's no warning to the fight. It's just, oh hey, you're fighting now. Good luck. Like I have like no prep time. They have like all the prep time in the world. I'm like, bro, I don't want to fight for 1, and 2, like just like let me know. Like fucking announce yourself or some shit. Like give me some warm up time or something.
Like even give me a hey, motherfucker.
Yeah, like instead of like going for a first punch, be like, oh hello sir, would you like to spar with me right now? I got some mates and we want to throw a few hands.
Good day.
Yeah, like
Fisticuffs.
let's the fisticuffs. Like, give me some kind of warning, but no, it's always
I'll give you a tallywhacker like you wouldn't believe.
Like, bro, whenever aggressive people meet me, it's like they see a fucking like health bar like
There's
below me.
drama
It's like a
happening.
fucking
Like a Dark Souls boss.
There's drama happening.
Well, it's their drama. Fucking leave it be. It's not a problem.
yeah, drama is drama. I don't touch that shit. I've dealt with too many women in my life. Yeah, like I'm always tired of that shit because I realize that whenever like I meet short people, they're either really cool with me or they fucking see a health bar in my head and they're like, all right, I'm gonna fight this fucking guy and like fulfill my destiny or some shit.
Yeah, it's like when a guy goes to fucking prison and thinks he has to. Yeah, it's like when a guy fucking goes to jail and he thinks he has to beat up the biggest, meanest motherfucker there.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I
It's
just
like
want to
trying
be
to fight
cool,
The
man.
Rock.
Like, I don't.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's like you're fucking Kevin Hart trying to square up to Shaq.
Yeah, it's like the fucking punch out theme starts like happening whenever someone's like, all right, there's a big boy, and you know, yeah, that shit. Oh god. Like it gets old. I always like when I was a kid, I realized I had like an Amazon fetish too. So now, like when I was a kid, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna find some like girl who's like fucking taller than me and marry her. And now I'm 6'10". I'm like, well, fuck. There goes that.
Man, I hope I find a girl with stilts.
Amazonian woman, death by snoo snoo.
Yeah, I'm like 6. Like whenever I was a kid, I'm like, dude, I want to be a girl taller than me and kick my ass. And now I'm 6'10". I'm like, well, oof on that
I
one.
want someone over like 7 foot there, buddy.
Yeah,
There is
yeah.
a woman that tall somewhere in the world.
Yeah, she's probably gonna be like a 3 out of 10. If anything, I'll like
Alright.
probably be.
Go to
Fucking-
Russia, they got some pretty tall chicks over there.
Oh yeah. No, wait, no, don't go there because it's like a fucking gamble roulette every time they take off their trench coats.
It's either a 0 or a 10.
Yeah. No in between.
From Alaska, I'm used to that shit.
Is it true
Yeah.
that people that like live in colder weather have hairier bodies?
Yeah, they're hairier and they're hairier and they're fatter because the
Yeah.
they
Like,
can't
think of it
really-
like
you
blubber
can't
on
really burn-
whales.
Yeah, like you can't really burn fat that well in cold weather because your body isn't used to regulating the blood to where it needs to be. So
Yeah, and
whenever
you're
you
not
see, like,
sweating
a
as much.
lumberjack in Alaska, they're always like fucking like big dad bod dudes with these massive bellies is because they can't fucking like regulate their fat.
And fucking
Is it true
voluptuous
that
beards.
lumberjacks like pancakes?
Dude, everyone
Why
fucking
not?
loves pancakes. Who doesn't? Yeah, everyone loves that shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's good. Canadians
fucking-
fucking love pancakes.
My fucking... Hang on. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. Fucking one day, me, my dad, and my brother are fucking bringing our quads home on a trailer we got. And our fucking garage door is a little weird. I'm the only person that the garage door likes. You know, it's a simple twist the handle, lift it up. But it doesn't like to work for them, the other two, my dad and my brother. And my brother watches me walk over there and he's like, it's not gonna work. I twist the handle and I lift up the door. He's like, how the hell did you get that to work? I was like, I'm really good at twisting handles. And he's like, well, I am too. And then he stops himself and I hear my dad start fucking laughing his ass off. He's like, he fucking got you.
Good one, fuck.
Oh yeah, this fucking
That's good.
this newer guy at work, complete dipshit by the way. That's a whole other story, ongoing still. We were saving spinal cords one day, and he was like, "What the fuck do we save this shit for?" That was his exact wording, so no exaggeration there. He's like, "What the hell do we use these for?" I was like, "Well, they don't really sell that well, which is why we stopped saving them every day. But people like to use these spinal cords to make carnivorous pasta." He's like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." I can't wait for it to get brought back up so I can tell him, like, "Yeah, go ask the owner about it. He'll tell you all about it."
Who's talking shit?
Oh my god.
I can't wait for that opportunity, dude. I'm fucking waiting for it.
God. I remember, like, I had a few, like, moments where I was unaware of a lot of things, and for me, it was, what getting kicked in the balls felt like. I had no idea how bad that was as a kid, until I was 7th grade, and someone or 8th grade, and someone brought it up. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking kick you in the balls. I'm like, what's, like, how does that supposed to hurt more? Like, what do you mean kicking the balls? Like, what do you mean? And he looked at me like I'm, like, retarded. It's like, you've never kicked the balls? Like, no, what the fuck are you talking about?
Getting
He, like,
kicked in the
looks at
balls
me
is
like
just
I'm, like,
splash damage.
Yeah, it's like
Even the guys around you would be like, "Ooh."
Yeah, he looked at me like I'm like a foreign student. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're like, of course you kick the balls. Like, no, I've never been hit in the balls. Like, what are you talking about? You're making it weird. Like, why are you talking about balls so much? And, like,
That's a little gay.
Why are you talking about balls so much?
Oh no,
Yeah,
Pickle's
like, why are you talking
Pickle's
about
cage
balls
is
so
gone.
much? Yeah, I said like, why are you talking about balls so much? And that's what the teachers heard. That's the only fucking part that the teachers heard is, why are you talking about my balls so much? And then they see him kick me in the balls. And like, I'm on the floor, and they are fucking furious. This kid, he's like, why did you kick him? Why blah blah? Like, you know, because it's a Christian school, and they're like fucking furious at that shit.
You're supposed to remain abstinent, not fucking remove the fucking material.
Yeah, and also they walked in on us beating each other up with Bibles, so we got like fucking 3-day suspension for that.
Divine intervention. He would have stopped me if he wanted me to.
Yeah, like, we're having like a Bible. We call it Bible.
I'm
fight.
holding
Like,
the
kicking shit
source.
out of these Bibles. Yeah, it's like we're using the word of God as a valuable weapon. I don't fucking know, but
It's sometimes.
God.
Jesus fucking Christ.
My favorite moment in that school, though, it was so this. I always like saying this part because it's fun to talk about when there's a group of people because of how fucking bizarre this fucking story is. There was a guy at the school, and he was a preacher that they hired to like to talk to us to like just kind of like let us explore shit. And so he one second. Oh wait, now I'm back.
Welcome
you
back.
play the piano?
Yeah.
I play the
I
piano.
was playing the
too. Shit, hell
Jeopardy
yeah.
theme. Wait,
Oh,
you play it too?
I learned like a lot of Nintendo shit. That was like my go-to for piano.
Yeah.
But
I have a
so
guitar,
like
too.
this guy they hired to go to our church was like so. I hate to like go into a history lesson with this shit, but basically there are a lot of fake preachers out there. Is the best way to put this. Like there's a lot of preachers who just do it for the money. And
Oh,
as a kid, I was kind of unaware of this, but the second I saw this guy, I knew something was off. But the teachers and the principal believed every fucking word this guy said. And holy fucking shit, this went like a rabbit hole. This thing fucking like went out of hand so fast. So
bizarre.
we
Oh my god.
oh boy. So he was preaching for a while about the importance of history and all sort of stuff, and some biblical stuff, blah 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 blah. But then at one point he says, "Okay, I want to present to you guys my main attraction for my sermon, and the reason why I have proof that God exists, and the proof that everything that's said by the Bible is real." I'm like, all right, this man's laying, this guy's like basically like showing, like just saying, "Oh, hey, like I got the biggest dick ready to drop. Like I'm gonna show you the coolest shit you've ever seen." I'm like, okay, you know what? I kind of toned out for everything else, but I'm gonna watch this part, just to see, what's up, just to see what's going on, right? So, he walks in and he reaches into his pocket and he says, "Long time ago, about maybe 3 or 4 years ago, me and my team of researchers, he called them, decided to see if we could find out if Noah's Ark existed, and we wanted to see if we could find the remains of the Ark in Mount Ararat, which is near Turkey." And when they were flying to Turkey, he said that they had to fly near Russia, and that the Russian officials were threatening to shoot their helicopter down and all this other crazy shit. Like he wanted some like big action story thing. And I'm like, okay, now I'm thinking to myself, this guy's 100% full of shit. But I want to see where he's going. I want to see what he's gonna say. I want to see what happens.
Let him
next
dig
in
himself
the
a deeper
story
grave.
right? Yeah, like what's he gonna say? What's he gonna say? So I'm like, all right, continue. So he's like, and when I got to this mountain, we used a carbon dating tool on the wood there to hopefully find a piece of wood that belonged to the Ark. And he reaches into his pocket, his little vest pocket, and pulls out this like black triangle, like pyramid piece of wood about the size of your palm. And he's like, and I have here, according to my analytics, a piece of the Ark itself. And like he holds it above his head, like he's like holding like a piece of Jesus himself. Like everyone,
Does he
like,
drop
he's,
it?
like just showing this fucking piece of wood off, and everyone's like going fucking monkey about this shit. They're like, "Oh my fucking god, it's real! It's fucking crazy!" And like everyone's just going this absolutely ape shit about this, right? And the teachers were and the adults were, but some of the students were like,
This is a
something doesn't
little
add up,
off-putting.
like,
I mean, why, if he
Yeah,
found the
this is
fucking
some-
piece, why didn't I hear about it?
I'm like, there's just something that we were like, this doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, I'm
Just
not
a piece
some
of charcoal.
wood scientist, but like, I'm not some wood scientist, but like, how do you do that? Like, what do you do? Like, how do you find this and stuff like that? But we were asking to ourselves, like, what the fuck is this guy on about? And it's like, we use our carbon dating tools to analyze that this came back thousands of years ago and like a long time ago, and this was a piece of the wood that we were able to shave off of the Ark itself before we were threatened off the land by the local the Turkey military, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, Okay, but from my point of view, it was this piece of wood that basically looked like someone scribbled a black Sharpie on it. That's all it looked like. It looked
Yeah.
like someone just fucking like full-on arts and craft fucking scribbled on this thing. And
It's like someone took
I'm
a
standing there
vat
with
of
my
Sharpie ink and
friends.
just dipped a thing of plywood into it.
Yeah, it looked like it's fucking weird. It was like he looked like someone. It was like it was like a shiny kind of like glossy black, but you could see through it that there was wood inside. It was really fucking weird. But my friends were standing there in the middle of this Christian school, young Christian boys, and I just suddenly just blurted out to them, "I'm going to steal a piece of Noah's Ark because I want to see if it's real." So I'm like, I like my friends are looking at me like, no fucking way is this kid going to hell because he's taking a piece of Noah's Ark from a priest, like a priest. No fucking way is he doing this. But I was hell bent, and I wanted to like see if I could like, if
Unironically.
he could let me hold it, and I'm just gonna run away with it. It's like, he'll never see me again. I'm like, that's the plan. But I can never get him alone with like for me to let him. Like he would only
You can't jump
only
him?
Let one person
You
hold
can't
it.
jump a
He only
priest?
let one person hold it. Yeah, like you can't jump this shit, right? And so like he only let one person hold it, and it was the only fucking like person there that was absolutely enraptured in believing it. It was my grammar teacher who was like her name is Miss Williams, an 86-year-old woman who looked like you remember
Okay,
like,
could
the
you knock it off,
slave
please?
trader guy and you remember like the slave trader guy in Star
Thank you.
Wars, like had like Anakin as a kid, the pod racer shit. Do you remember like that guy with like the funny nose? Remember him?
Fuck, what's his name? Jar Jar
Like, he
Binks?
knew, like,
No.
no. Okay, so in like the Star Wars, where like he had like the kid, like the pod racer kid, and like he basically owns the kid. Like the
I don't
guy
know.
with,
I
like,
had no.
the
I never
pawn
really
shop guy.
I never really got into Star Wars.
Oh, well, basically, like, she looks like this really crumpled up old lady. And, like, her fucking, like, wrinkles, like, just, like, fucking ballistic. Like, her entire body just fucking shriveled the moment she held this fucking piece of wood. Like, she like,
Oh.
just got touched by God himself. It was so fucking weird seeing her reaction to holding this fake piece of wood. And I am just, like, internally, like, okay, the adults here are batshit insane. like, everyone, I'm like, what the fuck am I in this school for now, dude? Everything I believed in, like, Christianity just got fucking my shit rocked then and there. I'm like, these people will believe anything they're told. Holy shit. And,
Like fucking.
so,
I've
yeah,
held
that
this
was, like, that
piece
was a
of
failure.
Sharpie covered wood. I am enlightened.
Oh, God damn, dude. Man, it was the same school where I had my arm cut open too. It was the exact same school.
Hang on.
Too. That school was wild.
Someone's knocking on my door.
The teacher.
Hey, I'll be
the
back in
teacher
a
was
second.
originally from Russia. Huh? Okay.
Someone's knocking on my door.
Square now.
You're terrifying. I'm scared. Help! Help! Please! 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 It's pissing on me. Help!
Sorry for the wait, man. My mom wants me to sign into my Origin account so she can play The Sims 4. I'll be back in like I don't know, a couple minutes.
Okay. You know what? I'll hop off for the night. But if you want to hang out tomorrow, we can hang out tomorrow.
What?
I said I'm gonna hop off for tonight. But if you want to hang out tomorrow, we can hang out tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm off work the rest of the week because I'm unrelated to
Yeah.
anything.
I'm
I
off
got a
the next couple
fucking I got a mild concussion, so I'm off work the rest of the week.
Nice. All right, man. Take it
So
easy.
yeah,
I'll see you
here.
tomorrow.
All right, fucking nice to meet you, dude. Fucking dude, I could listen to you all day.
Yeah.
I swear to God, dude. Fucking
I appreciate
awesome.
it, man.
All right, fucking you
All
have
right,
yourself
take
a
it
good
easy.
night, man. Take it easy, man.
You take it easy.
Peace.